I recall all my power and all my energy back to me with divine care. Whoever, whatever is living off my light energy, run that back, get your own. I'm emotionally gifted, so I must guard that gift with wisdom and firmness. My openness is emotionally generous. I must be watchful. I'm seeing who are and aren't skilled to receive. I receive what others' blind spots are, teaching me about budgeting my energy and setting the boundaries. I have the right to tell people what they don't want to hear in the name of setting the boundaries. I also want to exhaust myself on people who ain't listening. I'm done with people pleasing and the attachment to make everyone happy with me. I won't share like how I used to share. I people wiser. I know now people pleasing isn't love, but it is fear. I am magnificent at releasing expired emotional ties to how I structure my life with people, knowledge, money, friends, nutrition, health of my body, love, and time. I'm free from over-explaining and justifying my choices. My cutoffs aren't personal, they're spiritual. Anyways, I call back all energy that belongs to me. I am not the caretaker of those who want to stay asleep. I release the programming of being overly responsible for the happiness of others. The divinity in me, you know what's up. Tell me who I should share my intimate energy with. I focus my energy on who sees me and skillfully respects me. Not those who are skilled in choosing their false stories about me. I notice and accept when there is unequal energy exchange. I have more mental real estate when I release people I bonded with through my trauma self and not through my healing self. Yet I am deeply grateful for the hidden gifts that divine used them for to help me see my worth. I speak the law of reciprocity and mutual exchange in my most intimate relationships. I now know misalignments aren't personal, but vibrational. I enroll myself into believing my emotional health is to create healthy boundaries for myself. I cast away the curse of suppressing my emotions. I'm free from internal violence towards my feelings. How I feel is a part of fulfilling my purpose. I explore a healthy relationship between my emotions and boundaries. If they feel like home and they feel safe to be around, I spend more time with that type. I'm learning how to interpret people's energy, especially those I love. I emit my own frequency and monitor how much energy I absorb from events, social media, texting, conversations, entertainment, and thinking. I attract connections where my love languages are valued, explored, and met. I'm on a budget. I gotta keep that same energy, no matter what. I surround myself with emotionally mature allies that are strong when I am vulnerable. I vow to not play nice just to be named nice. My circle got like a lowercase o, and I love it here. I'm laughing because I have no clue what's here. But god dang it, I'm gonna get curious and lean into it like I know it will all be all good for me, good for us. I have people in my life I don't have to re-examine to reposition in my life. I am honest with who really got what it takes to connect with me and what I offer to connection. On some real-ish, my worth is not based on how much I give. Even if I'm misinterpreted or misunderstood, I know I'm not being distant. I am now gravitating to the vibes that best suit my energy. I'm picky with who I allow into my inner courts. I am my own verification. I embrace learning relational intelligence to enrich how I relate and invite others to relating deeper, even if parts of me are still tender. I am surrounded only by others who feel like honey. I have the wisdom to see through agendas, to play any individual or collective racial wounds against my emotional energy and free thinking. The power within me is stronger than the 1% attempts to control my energetic wealth and well-being. My energy is the truest wealth in existence. I am made in the image of God, and I am opening to realizing that more. This is my truest identity, and no one can tell me otherwise. 2019 was a launching pad to my truest thrive ever. I'm selective where I place my emotional resources and jewels. I open up to only those worthy of my trust. I worth connections that have spiritual depth. I no longer have to be the strong one, the spiritual one. I have accepted a aligned tribe. I now know that toxic energy of those close to me are not alchemized by my spiritual relationship with myself and kindness towards them, with a swiftness and humility. I bow out of that and let their life be their teacher. I love people, but my energy tolerance budget is hella bougie. I gotta watch my budget on this energy here. Hey, 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 hey.
Yo, just pull up to the Love Palace. Ain't no cap here, just facts and feels. D and KELLZ on the mic, we talking ships, all kinds. Pull up and unpack. Just enjoy. Friendships that held me down through the struggle. Companions who dipped when I stepped out the bubble. Family ties that tug, some tight, some frayed. But we lay it all out, let the truth get played. No judgment, just lessons on velvet chairs. We speak from the gut, raw love, stripped bare. Got a steed, got that glow like sage in the wind. Queen KELLZ hit the mic, truth spilling again.
Chips, we talking, we walking, no filters, just real. Love Palace, the spot where your soul can heal. All them ties, all those vibes, we ain't letting them drown. We lift ships up, never tear them down.
Situationships with benefits and blurred lines. Late night convos that redefine mind. Friend turns to foe, they turn to ghost. But we speak on it all, toast to the growth. Auntie vibes with a twist, drop gems in the mist. Got a palace full of wisdom, come get you a fix. Mic check, soul check, what's your connection? We the pulse of the people, every vibe gets a section. This ain't no gossip, this is gospel with glitter. A sanctuary for the stories they told you to bury. Let your voice rise, let your pain breathe, let your ship dock here.
Good evening, everybody. How's everybody doing out there? Welcome to Ships. We are on the third part of Hurt People, Hurt People. And so today we're not only going to talk about some more deep dive of why people do this, but we're also going to give some healing because we're going to protect our energy budget, just like Tony Jones said at the beginning.
Yeah, that's my girl, ain't it? She'll get you right when you down. I'm telling you, she be talking to the soul. Man,
every time I'll be like, yes. I'll be feeling so. So if y'all don't know, tap into Tony Jones.
Please do.
She even got a song out there for the men. Remember we were looking for a song and I was like, oh my God. She has
we're gonna have to when we get something for the men, we're gonna have to play it.
Right.
Yeah.
But I am your captain, one of your captains, GODDESSDEEOFLUV. And who's that over there?
Girl, I am Queen KELLZ, your spiritual homegirl, the one that just might read your soul tonight, tomorrow, and forever.
Ooh, let's go, girl. Okay. So before we go into what we're going to talk about tonight, because we're going to talk about the cycle of suffering and talk about some healing, let's recap just a little bit about what we talked about last week, which was the roots of the pain.
Oh my God, there was so much. We talked about so much. You got that childhood trauma that was out there. And then that involved just violent environments and natural disasters that happen. All of this could traumatize a child in that time. What else did we have?
We had the emotional. Oh, no. Well, we did talk about the emotional stuff. The abuse. Too. How it can be physical, sexual, emotional, psychological abuse as well. Yes.
And we also had neglect. Neglect.
Like,
we had the educational neglect, physical neglect, supervisory neglect. So all of those things came into play last week.
Right.
So,
And also, I broke down the lack of emotional support, which is very important.
yes.
Man, if you
That
don't
one
have
right there.
emotional support, girl, you already know it's rough out here. And we were not built to do this alone. That's not what the divine had made for us to do things alone. So that emotional support is really important. And then when there's a lack of it, hurt people do hurt people. Wouldn't you agree?
Shoot, I would agree. Go heal that childhood trauma, because that childhood trauma is really taking a lot of people down. And not only that, sometimes I understand, and I said I understand, I don't agree with it, but I do understand how hurt people can hurt people when you're hurting, or even if your life is so hectic or you have high anxiety, that comes off too as hurt people, because you don't know where to place that energy, and somebody can be in your circumference at the wrong time and get that blowback. So I understand it. I don't agree with it, but I do understand it.
Right. And if we understand to the point where we even know the things within ourselves that, oh, we was hurting people as well.
Ooh.
And that's why we really went into this. We like, oh, girl, look at what we've been doing. And so we offer the healing to others. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, this is not something that we do to be like call people out or nothing. This is things that we have experienced, real life situations, and that we use these tools that are provided for us to heal. And that's
and you know what?
Yeah.
I'm trying to use these tools so I don't be messy out here in these streets.
Right.
I'm trying not to be, you know what I mean? I'm trying to, here's the thing, if I make a mess, I'm about to clean it up with my accountability and my support.
Right.
So,
and the mess is not, if I make a mess, my goal is I'm not going to be messy and go and talk about the people, do hurt people. As we learned last week, you either go rectify the situation, and sometimes you just got to just leave them alone. So before we get into the cycle of suffering, we're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to get right into it so we can wrap this series up for you guys, okay? Right after this.
All right.
Stay beauty. I catch truth. And I bloom every time I do. I rose, sweet and colorful. I capture love in every hue. She glows soft, but the power's bold. Empress touch, yeah, she got that soul. Rosebuds blooming, moving free, giving light through artistry. From the lens to the light, we know a rose like her, that's how we grow. The devil like a spell work, turn pain into prints, make the real hurt look good, and that's talent, babe. She framed the truth, let the colors weigh. She don't miss, got his aim. Catch your essence, not just your name. Snap it raw, edit it clean. She building dreams from behind the screen. Ooh, will she see you when you hide it? She find light in the fighting. And she paint your flaws divine. She the frame for your rising high.
Ooh, welcome back, y'all. Welcome back.
I'm on mute, girl. I was on mute. I'm glad you did it. We want to make sure everybody subscribes to Empress Iro Sharon, right?
Yes, please do.
Y'all.
And she about to have some shoes come out. I want a pair.
I'm with it too. I want a pair as well. So she has the new sneaker brand. She put some content over there. So go check her out, y'all. We dropping her link. Go ahead. We're dropping our link in.
I was gonna say yes, do please get our subscribers up. We doing big things with the CLC, and Miss Sharon is getting it in, and her pictures are beautiful too. So y'all, let's go.
Absolutely. So we talked about signs, we talked about root. Now, what we're going to do, Kelly, is we are going to
talking about the cycles, and they're the cycles of what?
We're going to break the cycle. The cycles of
suffering.
Yeah.
No more suffering, y'all. Let's come out of this trauma.
Break these cycles. This circle, let's mess that all up. Let's just keep that all up.
Yeah.
The first one, of course, we're going to talk about the family. Breaking the cycle of suffering within the family. Because, you get hurt and then you guard yourself, right? Mm-hmm. And then the guard turns to distance. And then the distance breeds misunderstanding. And then boom, there goes more pain. So family is the primary training ground for how we relate to the world. Ooh, that's true. Mm-hmm. So when pain, trauma, or dysfunction are present and left unaddressed, they become ingrained patterns to repeat across generations. Ooh. So here's the cycle. Here's the origin of the pain when it comes to family. This typically starts with unaddressed trauma, such as neglect, abuse, or a lack of emotional support experienced by previous generations. Examples: a grandparent who survived a war and a parent who experienced neglect. So the origin of this suffering that is caused on a family is because they say trauma, neglect, like we talked, lack of emotional support. Mm-hmm. And this is passed through generations down. Like it doesn't stop. Like that pain, oh, well, I didn't have that when I was young either, so you don't need it. Or, oh, you'll be okay because I did. But we don't realize, even as parents and grandparents, that that's a cycle. Mm-hmm. And if that's not healed, we're passing that suffering down to the next generation.
And it's crazy that you said that too, because one of the things that I think that all families kind of go through is that lack of emotional support. That one is so important, because even when we ask for help, and sometimes I don't know if we're clear mm-hmm. with conveying that to our family, where we'll ask for help and they think that, oh, well, you need money or you need this. But it's the emotional piece. And I don't know if we're able, some people may not be able to vocalize that part of it, where you're saying, I just need the emotional support. How many of us really know how to support someone emotionally?
Right.
Even as a parent, because I could say that, hey, because of trauma I had, that was one thing that I had issue with.
Exactly. And then you want to break that. So just because your parent didn't talk to you, or your grandparents, their grandparents didn't talk to them, and they didn't express how they feel, we should not, may I offer, that we do not carry that on to the next generation. We say it stops here. We're going to communicate and have that emotional support, like you said. Mm-hmm. So another thing that happens with suffering with family is maladaptive coping and behavior. So this is traumatized individuals develop coping mechanisms to deal with their pain. Ooh, Lord. So this might include, so now we're talking about maladaptive coping and behavior, emotional numbing, shutting down your feelings, leading to emotional unavailability. Now this right here, what this looks like is, yes, I'm going to do this because the Spirit told me to. It looks like not speaking and talking, how you are in a household with the mate, your kids, or even just a roommate, and you shut down totally. You don't even talk about anything. You just go and not be available. You are emotionally numbing down your feelings. That is a coping mechanism.
I was in that category.
Mhm. I don't like how that feels. You know how I am. Now I've been feeling all weird. So I don't think I really have a problem with it. I'm usually reacting off. Well, now I know I was reacting off what the other person was doing, but that's not really in my nature to do that.
Mm-hmm.
So then you have control. Oh, do you have something to say?
Mm-mm.
Oh, okay. Then you have control or dominance, attempting to control others to feel safe or powerful. Mm, I'm controlling everything.
I got this. I got this.
I don't need nobody to make you feel safe or powerful. Now, remember, I want everybody to remember that we're talking about these are coping mechanisms that are used for family situations,
All right.
attempting to control others to feel safe or powerful. The other one is criticism and judgment, projecting their own insecurities or learned harshness onto others. Whew, take a deep breath on that.
Mm-hmm.
Because people are projecting what happened to them and their judgments on other people. That don't mean that's the way I am. And I, you
And
know,
and
huh?
if I was that way, how you know I didn't change?
Exactly. Exactly. You took the words right out of my mouth. Projecting their own securities and learned harshness unto others. People could be harsh too. Family members could be harsh.
Yeah.
And then you have avoidance, which I think it goes into with that other one, sidestepping difficult conversations or emotional intimacy. You're avoiding the conversation, you're
Mm-hmm.
avoiding the emotions, all of that. You're just avoidance. This is a way for numbing your suffering.
Yep.
Now, this one, guilty, addiction, and dysfunctional habits, using substance or behaviors to self medicate. So that could be liquor, drugs, food. Okay, right? Because people always they don't like to mention food. That's an addiction too,
Having kids,
man.
because
Yeah.
I know people use that to cover up pain
Mm-hmm.
too, and I can say that because I was one of those people. I had a
Mm.
kid because I was like, I'm sad. I needed somebody to love me, and I had a kid, and that
So
cover up the
people,
pain.
yeah, I like that you mentioned that because people always think of drugs, alcohol, food. You did a whole different thing. Addiction.
That's
An
the
addiction could be that you're an avoidant person. That's how you're numbing. You know, it doesn't always have to be
mm-hmm.
something that you're hurting yourself either way. It doesn't have to be something that you consume.
Mm-hmm. Because in my situation, it was the dysfunction part of this, not necessarily the addiction, but just the dysfunction. Like I knew that the father wasn't a good fit to have a child with, but I didn't really care about that. But it showed up later in the relationship with the child, the father, all of it led to dysfunction. And I didn't understand it until after the fact. And you're able to manage through these things. That we're not saying that these things aren't manageable, but we're saying sometimes these things happen because of dysfunction, and we use certain mechanisms to cope.
Man, I know, you know, mine was the bottle. I'm not ashamed to admit that. And I didn't realize till after I got out of it due to health reasons as well. But then I was like, I was really numbing the pain. And I was like, "Ooh, let me get a drink. Let me get a drink." Yeah, shot. Remember, we
Shot.
making people get drunk, man. But anyway, that's a story for another day. So let's go on. The other thing is impact on the next generation.
Mm.
Children in this environment learn these maladaptive patterns. They may internalize messages of unworthiness, fear, or even insecurity. they may also adapt the same coping mechanism or develop complementary ones. Example, if one parent is avoidant, a child might become anxious and pursue them. This is often where intergenerational trauma comes into play, as the effects are transmitted not just through behavior, but potentially even, I don't even know how to pronounce it.
Epigenetics, girl, that goes deep.
Yes, yeah, what Kelly said. See,
Epigenetically, yeah,
you
epigenetically.
know, I'll be real when I can't say it.
Look, it's okay. But this goes deep. Epigenetics is just with deep bedded in deep within the genetics. So you could, so say for instance, a woman adopts a child. This child still has the mother and the father still within them. So trauma does
Mm,
not necessarily have to be directly from that. But if the parents were experiencing some type of trauma, that also can come through as well.
right. So if you're a parent and you're displaying these type of things, I I see how it says your child can feel that they're unworthy, they have fear or insecurity. And you know, you have
Mm-hmm.
your children and be like, they don't think they're that intelligent or that smart. They don't feel like they're worthy. They don't know how to do things. And that's because we have passed that down.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you don't know that, still be aware when your children. I had to even listen to my children, like they did a whole thing on me, and I was like, oh, what's going on here? But I listened to what they had to say and realized that I didn't want to be what how I was taught, how people taught me, or how I was raised in certain ways.
Mm-hmm.
So then we have perpetuation. As the
Mm-hmm.
children grow into adults, they unconsciously carry these patterns into their own family dynamics. Yes, that's what we're talking about. They may replicate the very behaviors that hurt them to their own children. This is where it goes into generations. Or overcompensate in ways to create that still create dysfunction. Example, emotionally neglect child becomes an overly immense parent. Oh my God.
Yeah. Stop talking to me. Golly, I'm healed today.
I don't want my children to experience or know the things that I've done because they're going to have such a better life. And then you hold them back from experiencing life. So to me, may I offer, don't, uh, you want them to experience life, but you want to be a guide for them.
And
Not
that's
run.
where,
Go ahead.
and that's where we talk about the communication piece. When you create a safe space for your children to be able to communicate, it's easier to guide them. And you won't get that shutting down. You won't, again, that goes back to the emotional support. If there is the emotional support there, that emotional support does a whole lot. Then you see them open completely up to
Mhm.
have that conversation. So to what you're saying is actually create that space for your children to be able to talk. So then when they are out there in the world, then you can guide them and they'll listen. But when they see they can't come to you or none of that, it literally creates the cycle all over again
Yeah,
because nothing gets talked about or
they
no
just
answers
shut
are
down.
given.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't want to talk about that. We ain't gonna do that. Well, mom, dad, nope, nope, yep. And you don't even know. You're like you said, creating a cycle all over again.
Mm-hmm.
So the last thing on this with the family and suffering is reinforcement and escalation. Each generation's unaddressed pain and maladaptive coping reinforce the cycle. The pain isn't resolved, it just finds ways to express itself, often escalating in intensity or shifting in manifestation, which leads to family feuds, estrangement, repeated arguments, and ingrained roles. The peacemaker the scapegoat, the hero become cemented. They're not even there.
You heard the hero part. You heard the hero part. Okay,
Yes.
I'm gonna shut up.
So you just want to make sure that the unaddressed pain that you have, and this is something that I've learned. I had to address my unaddressed pain in order to help my children and my grandchildren. Because it doesn't look the same. The pain could come it could show up a whole different way. You're the one that's shutting down or lashing out, but they can be quiet, be reserved, stay to themselves. That's still a way of showing that they're suffering. So yes, that is the suffering.
That is so.
The pain of cycle when it comes to family. Yeah, because it doesn't always look the same. The pain is the same, but the cycle doesn't always look the same.
Right. And the thing is that the cycle repeating itself. When do we recognize that the cycle is continuing? Like if we literally stopped and thought about what we were going through or what we were doing, we'd actually notice that what we're doing is creating a cycle all over again. So you really have to, this is one where you have to become self-aware. Once you become self-aware and you see what's going on, this self-awareness is not to say, don't be like this, don't be like this. This is this the result that you want to come from this situation when you're self-aware? What result am I going for? Do I want to be the scapegoat? Am I trying to be the hero? Or am I literally just trying to bring peace? So you really have to come in tune with yourself.
And listen to your kids, because they do have a way of telling you.
I heard, you know what? I heard KRS-One, I think he said that the older people can learn from the younger people. That way they're faster among the older people, and the young people listen to the older people so that they could be faster amongst the young people.
I heard that too. I think, I don't know if it was Kara. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah. And so we need each other so that we can learn the skills to adapt, because as each generation grows, yes, there are things that don't change. But as we see how the younger kids are taking in this information, everything is on the phone, everything's so technical nowadays. And these little babies know how to boop, 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 get right into it, know how to look at it. I'd be handing my phone off to the baby like, hey, can you show me how to do this so I know how to do it next time? But then I know how to do it, and I see some older people have the same thing that I got, and I go, girl, I know how to do that now. Right. And it's all baby told me how to do it.
Me too.
So yeah.
So let's go ahead and get into the romantic part, Kelly.
Don't want to talk about romance. Well, you ever date someone?
Yeah.
Just girl.
That's why I have to take this one. Go ahead.
Someone just like the person who hurt you. Then you wonder why it feels like a deja vu. Now, romantic relationships, due to their inherent intimacy, their vulnerability, they often become the stage where your deepest unhealed wounds are most powerful and re-encanted.
Go ahead, girl. You got this.
So what this means, look, so what this means is these are the people that are very close to you that can bring up your childhood pain, because probably they know your family or they've been around your family and they can kind of see what you grew up with. We talked about this the other day, like sometimes you got to get around a person's family because you may not know how they truly are until you get around their family and you see, oh, this is how this person really is. But it will bring up those old wounds if you're not careful. And as we know, and as we talk about on our show, is that when you are a child and you go through trauma, this sets the stage for any relationship that you have, friendship, romantic relationship and your family relationships are based solely off of that. So now jumping into the cycle, now individual wounds, both partners bring their individual unhealed wounds. So this could look like attachment, trauma, fear of abandonment, or unfulfilled low self-esteem, unaddressed emotional needs from childhood. They bring all that into the relationship. So like I said, you kind of got to look out for that. And not, oh, go ahead.
No, I just came to my, because we talked about this last week.
Mm-hmm.
If you're being with somebody, if you had childhood trauma, childhood abuse, or whatever, and somebody else has had that in a different form, they have the neglect part of it, right? Mm-hmm. And y'all get together, that don't mean that's going to be good. That can still be a toxic relationship. It's just in a different form.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so it's when you have these romantic, when you get with people and have romantic relationships, you got to really know what you're dealing with. And I'm going to go ahead and let you go.
So now, triggering or maladaptive responses when one partner is in pain is usually triggered by something that could be seemingly minor, right? So they respond using their learned, often unhealed coping mechanisms. So now one of the common patterns that we may see is the pursuer / withdrawal cycle. And what this look like, it's where one partner, often anxious attachment, they pursue closeness and reassurance, while others will actually have the avoidant attachment, right? So you'll get one person that they want to be close and reassured, but then this creates something in them where they're like, nope, I don't want it. And so another way is withdrawals or shut down, creating painful, distant, or unmet needs. So this is where a lot of people kind of get into turbulence in a relationship, because you notice that most people make them responsible for their feelings or even some of their needs. And in this situation, it could come out and create other issues. So then you could have the one that has the blame or criticism cycle, right? Mm-hmm. This is where one partner will blame or criticize you. Oh, you ain't doing this right, or why are you always doing? And then what happens is they become defensive, or they may retaliate. And so how many people we know retaliate? And this leads to an escalated conflict or resentment in the relationship. The other one,
I think before you go to the next point, even when you're blaming yourself, right? Because we have people that I'm stupid, I'm not smart. Although, where does this come from? It has to come from somewhere. And now you're trying to be in a romantic relationship and you're saying those things, and that's going to cause suffering within that. And it may cause you to hurt that partner or person that you're romantically involved with.
Yep, I totally agree with you 100%. That's usually how it happens. Mm-hmm. So then now we get into the partner that may demand something or withdraw it from you. So this is kind of similar to the pursuer and the withdrawer, where one partner demands communication or attention and the other one pulls away. I don't want to talk about that. I don't want to talk about that right now. And then they don't ever come back to talk about it. They just leave it, or we'll talk about that later, and then don't want to talk about it at all once you come back.
I don't want to talk about it. It's already over.
Yeah. Like, dang, we never squashed it.
Really? Okay, go.
Now, and I know that Dee talked about this one, but like we said, some of these show up in all relationships. So we have the emotional numbing or the avoidance in a relationship where one or both partners avoid conflict or emotional depth. Now, what this looks like, it leads to superficial relationships and lacking true intimacy. So this one right here, I see a lot with some of the new generation and how these women approach men. They only want their money. They only want to get the bag, or they only want a purse, or they only want a car, or they only want some shoes, or they just only want to look nice on the outside while the inside looks like a burning hell. And what that looks like is they're superficial. They don't, they're really not doing the work to do what they need to do on the inside so that they can show that same beauty that they're showing on the outside, that have that match. And so what this does is there's no intimacy there. It literally kills the intimacy, because a person can feel when you're being superficial, when you're not really talking or having intimate conversations or troubleshooting issues. A person notices that, and they could feel that in a relationship.
Absolutely.
Right? So now one of the things is reinforcement of the core fears. Each partner's maladaptive response triggers the other core fears and wounds. For example, the pursuer may be triggered with the withdrawer. And this is fear of fulfillment, and it causes them to retreat further. This withdrawal then triggers the pursuer fear of abandonment, and then it makes them pursue even harder. Have you seen that one? I'm gonna just mistreat you, and because you want to love, or you want the love, I'm just gonna come and get it. And then that's gonna trigger something else inside the person that want to go. Oh no, right. I don't want to deal with that.
I don't have an option. You just
yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Man, this is deep. So the escalation of pain, right, is where the cycle becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy, where each interaction that you have with the person will reinforce their negative beliefs about oneself. So the partner and the relationship itself is struggle, and the pain deepens, and the trust erodes, and the emotional distance will grow because of that.
I agree.
My goodness.
I agree. Yes.
We're getting into this very deep, because this is one place where we all will graduate from home one point in time, right? We're going to get out here and we're going to get into these relationships with people. But this is your home. This is your safe space. So could you imagine going from one home that may have, you didn't have a good upbringing. You may have been in a violent environment, or you may have gone through a natural disaster. Now you feel abandoned, or you have all these different things, right? Then now you go and you get into a relationship. What makes you think these things is not going to show up inside the relationship? And how you respond and how you treat and how you receive information will all determine whether or not you will actually go through these steps.
That's deep, KELZ. That's deep.
I'm like, this is crazy. So now a partner and the relationship itself, when the pain does deepen and erode and you create that distance, the relationship deterioration will happen. And so without the intervention, this cycle can lead to chronic unhappiness, resentment, infidelity. I wanted to bring that up, but I knew that I was going to talk about that. Infidelity, or ultimately the dissolution of the relationship. So even if the relationship doesn't end, it can become a source of constant suffering for both parties, i.e. toxic.
I'm just going to allow you to just have that, just the way they are, or how they are. They know who I am. They accept who I am. That's why I'm with them. Okay.
No, because I'm about to double down on that. Clack, clack. The thing is, right. The thing is that as we work through relationships, one thing that you want to, here's my thing is, why do people do the same thing over and over again, accepting a different result? What is that called? Insanity. That too. But it's called insanity. If you keep doing the same thing over and over again and get a different result, you keep doing that, and your friends don't want to be around you. Your mama don't want to be around you. Your kids don't want to be around you. You ain't got no friends. Your church people didn't just abandon you. It might be you. I'm just saying, you know what I mean? But then if all these people are doing this, when do you step to the side and say, you know what? Let me look at this, because I am constantly suffering. Now, people will, one thing that I see is people act like they're too strong. Oh, it ain't me, it's you. But you have all these people, and where are they? You're suffering. You can't say that you're not suffering. Because we are people and we need each other, whether we want to admit it or not, we need each other, right? But if we can't take the time to acknowledge what's going on in our own lives, how do we start to heal ourselves? So sometimes take a look at how you're showing up, even in your relationship. How are you talking to your partner? How is your partner receiving the information that you're giving? Are they receptive, or they seem defensive? And if they're defensive, ask those questions. Oh, how is this making you feel? Am I making you feel some type of way? Because usually their body position, or their body movements, or their facial expressions, or you can kind of feel the energy rating off of them, will tell you, their telltale signs to tell you when a person is uncomfortable. So check in and just make sure, okay, what I said may have offended you. I didn't mean to offend you. Did I offend you? Well, that's not what I meant to say. Let me clarify.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Communication is the key. Absolutely. All right, y'all. That's a lot we took in right now. We're going to get to the friendship part. We're going to take a message, after this message, and this is a good message, because y'all might need some of this, what I'm about to share with y'all.
Oh, y'all need it. Y'all need it.
So we'll be right back after this message, the ship is sailing, and we're going to come right back after this message.
Thinking, baby, you don't know the world a damn thing. Light up, lavish light. I've been moving too fast, running low on grace, feeling heavy, but I found my space. Lavender dreams in a smoky swirl, this moment mine, forget the world. No stress in my chest when I take this hit. These herbs ain't just pretty, they legit. Tobacco free, just clarity, and I ride this flame like therapy. Lavish light, glowing gold in the quiet night. Smooth fire make me feel just right. Lavish light falls. I breathe deep and I claim my life. No rush, no fight, just vibes. Lavish light.
Ooh, lavish light. Y'all gonna hear me singing all the songs. Let's go, KELZ. That made me want a lavish light right now. I'm in Colorado. Lavish light.
Wasn't that a good calm down? We talked about a lot of stuff. I was like, I got something for that. Y'all make sure y'all follow Blended Healing, because that's not actually going to be on that website. So stay tuned, subscribe to her channel, and then you'll be able to see what's going on with that Lavish Lights. Because I know,
and I'll be the first to tell you what Lavish Life's about, because when it comes out, I'm a lavish light all y'all.
with this hair. Yes, we're excited about that. CLC is doing big things. So y'all make sure y'all, like I said, stay tuned into with Blended Healing, and she'll let y'all know when the lavish lights are available.
Yes.
So we're going to go ahead and get right into the cycling of suffering. Let me see. When it comes to them besties, them friends, y'all.
Ooh.
We're going to talk about that. What, Kelly? What now?
I ain't said, I ain't got them, so I don't know.
Yeah, I used to. But anyway, in friendships, we ghost instead of communicating. This is what suffering looks like. In families, we shut down and instead of reconciling. While often less intense than family dynamics, friendships are still valuable to the cycle of suffering as individuals bring their unhealed wounds into these chosen relationships. So, what this cycle looks like, once again, we have the individual plane, when a friend carries the unaddressed pain, past betrayals of friends, abandonment, insecurity, and low self-esteem. The same as all the other ones. But I think this one, as friends, like you betrayed. Sometimes when you get betrayed by friends, your trust, one person can ruin it for everybody. I believe this in this cycle.
Yeah, and I try not to be, and that's the one I'm working. I'm a work in progress in this area. I'm not gonna lie. I'm really a work in progress.
Yeah, because you'll take one past experience. Oh, this person did this, or they abandoned me, or they do that, and I can't be friends with anybody.
Mm-hmm.
This is part of the cycle. So as we go on, we have the manifestation in behavior, which the pain manifests in behaviors that impact the friendship. This is trust issues. You're suspicious. You constantly, this is my pet peeve I talk about, questioning the friendship. An inability to fulfill commitment. Are you sure you're not this? Are you sure you don't feel this way? Are you sure? I think you really feel this way. You have trust issues. This is a cycle of the pain. And then there's the one-sidedness. Constant seeking emotional support without reciprocity. Okay. Then you have the gossip and criticism, undermining others to feel superior or deflect their own flaws. Sit up there. This is the person that gets under my reserve nerve. Ain't that what we say? Is the person that goes talks to you about another person, and y'all supposed to all be friends, right? And go dog you out and try to say this is what this person is saying, and this is, and you ain't said nothing, but that person is just steady believing in ruining it could be a perfectly good, not perfectly, but a good, healthy relationship.
And that is some messy shit.
Man, I've been there. And you like, what? What? And unfortunately, some friendships don't survive this.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's because they allowed that one person to destroy them and say things in your ear and say something in this ear because they're gossiping and criticizing because they have unhealed pain and suffering, making a cycle.
Yep.
Sensitivity or overreaction. Interpreting minor slights as major rejections due to underlying fear of abandonment. But something so little, oh, I heard you say such and such and such, and I says what you think. They overreact to that whole situation. They don't even address it really.
Mm-hmm.
Then you have the passive avoidance, inability to express needs directly, leading to resentment. You don't want to talk about it. So then you just have resentment. I don't care. And okay, KELZ, this does lead to not having friends. I'm just gonna say.
Oh, I know. That's why my mouth is shut. Or maybe I should open my mouth, because I have been in the past very passive aggressive, where I'll just deal with somebody, which is the passive is I'm just gonna deal with you. The aggressive part is you start acting a certain way and I'm checking you hella hard, like nope, nope. And they be like, dang, well, you don't really be acting like that, but now you're but it was that passive aggressiveness where nope, I'll be cool with you, but then I see you acting funny, and then I'll get extra aggressive with you on some other stuff. So in this one, I understand this one very well. Like I said, I could have possibly messed up a lot of friendships because people have come in not healed. And I'm not saying that I was healed, but I just didn't have time for it. Like it was kind of like your unhealedness is over my unhealed. I know I'm unhealed. I can admit I'm unhealed, but I don't let your unhealed self come over here and do some damage on me. And I'm already knowing that I'm unhealed. Oh no. So yeah.
Then it has the impact on friends. The other friend experienced frustration, hurt, exhaustion, or feelings of being used or misunderstood. The story of my life. It's sad because it makes you feel like that. When you have a kind heart and try to develop healthy friendships, you do get frustrated. You do get hurt. You get tired. You feel like you're walking on eggshells. That's not a healthy friendship.
Mm-hmm.
You know? So then there's what's the other thing we have there? We have the reaction and reinforcement. The hurt friend's behavior triggers a reaction in other friends. I just talked about this. When they reinforce the original pain. So here's some example. Friend A is hurt and constantly needs reassurance. I didn't even know it's going to say this. See, I said this already.
Mm-hmm.
It's hurt, tired of providing it. Are you serious?
Come on.
Tired of providing it and pulls back. Friend A interprets that as abandonment, confirming their fear and might become more demanding or withdraw completely. Friend A, here's another example, is hurt. It's the hurt one. It's gossip. Friend B, feeling uncomfortable, distances themselves again. Friend A perceives this as rejection and might intensify their gossiping or seek new, less healthy friendships. Come on, somebody. Reaction and reinforcement. I'm just going to leave that there.
Yep. And I'm shutting up.
Dissolution or stagnation. Without intervention, this cycle can lead to the friendship developing or becoming stagnant, filled with unspoken resentment and the lack of a true connection. Boom, mic drop. Without getting healed, you're going to keep having this cycle of trying to be friends with people, but you're not healing yourself because you're being stagnant. You're standing in the same place. You're jogging in the same spots because you haven't spoke up. You have unspoken resentment, and that's going to lead to lack of connection. And then it's going to be a cycle, because that's what we're talking about.
Girl, and you know what the scariest part is? It becomes our identity. And then we start calling ourselves damaged, like that's our name.
We can do damage. Okay. So this segment is brought to you by Holistic Rosary by KELLZ. So she is on YouTube. It's hosted by Queen KELLZ. Tune in for your healing foods, carpools, and soulful reflection. So follow Queen KELLZ, and we're going to show you. After these messages, y'all make sure y'all follow this, okay?
Yes, subscribe, please.
Yes.
She rooted in the rhythm of the trees. Talk sweet, pour, calm like teas. Queen KELZ with the herbs that speak. She the balance when your soul feel weak. From plan to place, she walk with grace. Tinctures that kiss you into place. This ain't a trend, this ancient flow. She don't heal you, she helps you grow, yeah. She dropped that lemon balm in the brew. Talk to the leaves like they kinfolk too. From seed to sip, it's alignment work. Holistic hands, love laced in dirt. Queen KELZ, that soul on the rise. She don't sell dreams, she real with the vibes. Got jars on the shelf like blessings in glass. Reminding your spirit to slow down fast. No rush, just rhythm. She the pause in the system. Where the world wanna numb, she say feel. That's the kind of magic that heals for real. In the rhythm of the trees. Talk sweet, pour, calm like teas. Queen KELZ with the herbs that speak. She the balance when your soul feel weak. From plan to place, she walk with grace. Tinctures that kiss you into place. This ain't a trend, it's ancient flow. She don't heal you, she helps you grow.
I'm already. We back, y'all. See, I'm right back here. We back. Y'all make sure to subscribe to Queen KELZ. Yes, time to play. We got some things coming up. If you don't know, there's some surprises coming up this week.
Yes.
Gonna have surprises. Subscribe to her. We're trying to get her to the right amount so she can go live, because that's what we really want to do within this next week. We want to do a live cooking.
Yes, absolutely.
I'm gonna be tasting it, y'all. I'm gonna be seeing me all in her business.
We're gonna heal through this food, y'all. Like, not only doing the exercise, but again, the food is what we intake that helps our body or damages. So tune in.
Woo, KELZ, this journey of hurt people, this series has been a ride. Wouldn't you agree?
It has been. But we ain't just here to expose the wounds, right? Because we got wounds and we've shown them, but now we about that healing life too. So we want to get into ways to heal, or things that we can do to heal. Now, healing is not a one size fits all. And so some of us may need some therapy. A lot of us need some prayer. And some of us just need some rest.
Yeah, no, you need some rest. Let's go.
And some rest. And some need all three.
Girl, well,
okay, y'all.
Therapy, prayer, and rest. Let's go.
Oh, okay, y'all. Let me get back in. So start where you are. Honestly, start where you are. Maybe that means finally going to therapy, or maybe this means sitting with your feelings without numbing them, without scrolling. Sex is a big one. People be like, oh, damn, I'm about to go knock it off, and then that's it. Or pouring ourselves into a substance, right? So we don't want to do those things. But
we
there's
also
ways.
Have meditation, which I speak highly of all the time. Journaling and setting boundaries is important. You know what else? Crying without shame. Reparenting that inner child that we talked about at the beginning when we started this series. Repairing that inner child, learning how to receive love. Crying is a cleansing. Prayer is a lifeline. Healing doesn't have to look grand. It just has to be real.
And let's not forget being seen, right? A friend that listens, a lover that holds space, a family member that apologizes, and don't forget community, right? Because that's what we're about here. We're not meant to heal alone. So find your tribe, find where your circle is, or if you can't, guess what you can do? Build it.
Well, let me be honest with you, Kelly. Sometimes healing looks like walking away, because sometimes it's finally returning to yourself.
Absolutely.
Ooh. Yeah.
This no.
We didn't have a lot of trigger warnings this time.
No, we didn't.
We made it through. We made it through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you're hurting, we see you, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you hurt others, own it and forgive it and heal forward.
Yeah. Because hurt people, but heal people too.
Wait, say that one more. No.
Okay.
Go say that one more time for the people in the back.
Hurt people, but heal people too. And that's where the shift begins.
Ooh, that's a word right there.
Yeah.
So this has been The Ships, y'all. And welcome to episode number 40. Y'all, we getting up there.
We at 42. Wait. Yeah, because we at 42.
Okay, we have 42. But this was a series 40.
Yes,
so the series started at 40 and now we are at 42. So please make sure y'all follow, subscribe, share this with somebody who is ready to stop the cycle.
Absolutely. And remember, you don't have to carry the pain forever. You choose to drop the weight and pick up your piece.
Which one, the steel or the actual piece?
Y'all, I ain't messing. Yeah, I can't. I still got KELLZ things though. Y'all make sure y'all. Not the deer, not that one, y'all.
I got it.
Oh, this was a good series, KELLZ. This is really good. Good. I enjoyed this series. I learned a lot. I hope everybody else learned a lot. Mm-hmm. Hurt people. Like I said, heal people, heal others. We need to be willing to make the shift.
I could say that this definitely called me out in a whole lot of ways, where I know that I've worked through those areas, but just to put this into perspective where, okay, sometimes we go through healing, but when you go back and you research and you listen to a lot of things and you do things, you be like, dang, I really was doing that. I really was being that. And not to say that these things are still being worked through, because they are, but I can tell you that I'm committed to growth, and I want everyone else to be committed to growth, and be patient with yourself.
Be willing. The thing that I want to offer is be willing to do the work. If you're not willing to do the work, it doesn't even matter. Be willing to do the work for you. Let me offer that. Be willing to do the work for you. If you're willing to do the work for you, it's going to work. You're going to make mistakes. You're going to have to apologize. You're going to have difficult conversations. You're going to have to do the inner child work. You're going to have to just do a lot. Mm-hmm. But it's worth it. Learning how to do these things and meditating, journaling, having difficult conversations has helped me tremendously. The hardest thing for me, because I'm such an empath, because I'm still working it, is actually walking away. Because I have a very, very big heart. And so when I give that, I still try to give that, but I realize some things I just have to walk away from.
Yeah,
so that's absolutely something that I learned.
I get it.
Well, y'all, we at the end. We have a Q&A. I don't know. We might have a quick Q&A now. y'all see what's gonna happen tomorrow.
We're gonna test the temperature because y'all have been following along with us, and some of y'all pop in late, which we thank you for coming, and y'all be in the replay. But we have a lot going on, family time, healing our inner child. We've been doing some things here, healing our inner child. We out having fun in these Colorado streets. So we healing. So however y'all come
hit
in,
the notification button, it's gonna tell you if we have a Q&A.
Yep.
Because I'm not going to be able to do it like I set this up here, right? So I'll let you know. Well, if it pops up then, because KELZ is on vacation. We're on vacation, y'all.
Oh, yeah.
And I am journeying back to the South. So the ships will not be here next week. So let me look at the calendar again. We're going to return on August the 12th.
Yep.
Because we are really about to enjoy some real family time, and before we both go back to Georgia, school's already gonna be starting back then, so we got to get in a whole different zone again. So we're gonna take that little break. I'm gonna try to do some daily dose of D's in there, but you never know what can happen. So y'all hit that notification button on both channels.
Please do.
Y'all get those subscribers up because we want to really do that. Okay, so hit the notification. If not, you know, we love y'all. Thank y'all for supporting us through this series. This is one that was much needed.
This is one for the books. I could say that because this one was deep. And the self-reflection that I got from this was really monumental, because on the road to healing, I just want to make sure that I am doing everything in my power to show up, not only for myself, but I do have children. And so I am in a work to making sure that my grandchildren don't have to struggle through the things that either me or the things that I've given to my children. So we're going to do better. So y'all know what? Baby, come back.
Well, hit the notification. I don't know. I'm just saying. I don't know what's going to happen.
Because we don't know what might happen. We might hit a live or something.
If we don't show up, we're going to definitely see you in 2 weeks. Like I said, school is in Georgia. School is starting back in a week. So we're trying to enjoy the time that we have. We are in our city. We are home until we go back to our other home in the South. So, you know, you might catch us live out there on the streets. We might be out there doing some things out there. You don't know.
Man.
Follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and all that too as well.
Yeah, please do.
So once again, thank you guys for coming to the Love Palace episode of Ships. I appreciate it. KELZ, go ahead and say what you got to say, because we don't know if we're going to come back tomorrow.
Well, I don't really know how much to say besides we're living our best lives and going back and forth with you. Well, we'll see y'all later.
Okay, so I'm going to close out, because there's another tool that I'm going to offer y'all that you can get on Shamaki Essentials, and it's titled Hurt People, Hurt People. So we will see you guys later. Peace and love. Hit the notifications, subscribe. We love you. We'll see you guys real soon, okay? Don't forget, we're not next week, the week after. Okay?
Yes. See y'all
later.
When you know that you're hurting people and still do it. This is a real talk breakdown on self-betrayal, accountability, and the work of healing. Every time you betray your feelings, every time you betray your values, every time you gaslight your own conscience, every time you double down on behavior you know is foul because changing feels harder than hiding, that's self-betrayal. And healing starts when you admit it. This isn't a pretty piece. It's not wrapped in soft quotes or shallow comfort. It's raw. It's real. It will make you sit with things you tried to outrun for years. But on the other side of that discomfort, there's clarity. There's change. There's peace that doesn't need to be stolen from somebody else to feel real. This book will allow you to unpack it all, to walk through it, not away from it. Because real healing don't begin with blame. It begins with ownership. Your soul wants freedom, not from consequences, but from self-destruction. So take a breath, get honest, let it hit, let it heal, and when it's done, Don't just reflect, transform. You're not just breaking cycles, you're building something sacred in its place. So walk like you know what it took to get here. Love like you don't need to prove that you changed, because your actions already show it. And live like somebody who understands this. The only apology that matters is who you become next. This book is available on the Etsy website, at the House of Blessings and Shamaka Essentials. Please pick up your copy today.
And we let the whole truth flow. Oh, friendship, situationship, love in all directions. We don't judge the heart, we just honor its reflection. Lay it down, baby. Speak your soul. Let it be real. This ain't therapy. This is truth dressed in silk robes. This is soul talk over incense and eye contact. This is Sheeps at the Love Palace, where love always gets a seat at the table.